What time is it?
It's big slappy time.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouth of decadence.
I'm going hungry.
Yeah.
I'm going hungry.
Hungry, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Something's on the table now. Cooking.
Cooking on the table. We're under the table.
You know what I recently found out? I always go, I'm folding laundry, yeah, when I'm folding laundry.
That's excellent.
I just whistle while I work. That's just
Sure.
me. I have a song in my heart, pep in my step, and I found out recently that somebody else does that too. So that's one of those things.
I'm folding laundry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things that just presents itself to the mind.
It might. It's a Strange Al effect, you know? We all turn into Strange Al.
Strange Al.
So-
Strange Albert.
Now, this song, it reminds me, you reminded me that Chris Cornell is no longer with us.
Well, I came home from taking our kid to school.
Yeah.
And I said, how did Chris Cornell kill himself? And you said, did he?
Yeah.
You didn't even know he was dead.
No, I was like, is he dead? For some reason, I completely forgot. I mean, this is 2017. We looked it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was, for some reason, I just completely blanked on Cornell leaving us.
Well, like we always say, you never know who's dead anymore.
No, you don't.
And
Am I
wonder,
dead?
Is that ADD though? Like, do normal people come home and they're like, I'm having breakfast. I'm sipping coffee.
Chris
I'm in
Cornell
the
is
home."
dead. I know he is.
But
do
it's
they
being like,
know?
someone's dead. How'd they die? What happened? Or do we all do that?
I think we've now reached a level where we've all been touched a little by the like wandering mind.
Is
The
that
brain.
tech? Is that aspartame? Is that nitrates?
Who is it? Is that Sam Altman over there? Who is that? Yeah, no, I think it's a little bit of all the above. I think nature, big natural.
Whatever. We looked it up. R.I.P. Love him.
Nurture.
And I love that song. But it's Temple of the Dog, that song
Brings in our old pal
features
Vedder.
Vedder. But of course, I look it up, and guess who wrote that song? That socialist ballad about taking from the rich and not exploiting the poor.
Who?
Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell.
I'm just saying Vedder's not right
No,
now.
Vedder. No. You're right. No, they needed Vedder's dulcet tones. They needed Vedder's pipes, but they didn't need. Because Cornell's got okay pipes too.
Which part does Chris sing?
Probably the.
I'm going hungry.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't mind. It's so good.
It's great. It's a great old
Should
tune.
we just cut this and go listen to it?
We should. This episode is just us listening to. I also wonder. I feel like maybe it's just we haven't arrived yet until we get a copyright notice of some sort.
Oh.
Because, well, without getting too derailed, because this is a whole thing I want to bring up later, so I'll save it.
Wait, we shouldn't sing though?
No. We'll
used
talk
to
about
say,
it later.
but I think we're not singing well enough for anyone to pick up on it.
You would think that.
Then again,
Then
what
again,
I just did was beautiful.
you know what I think it's fine. No, I know you actually did just nail that. I would be concerned that people think our new theme song is Temple. Now, what really quick too, Cornell died by hanging. There's a lot of
but not the way we think of hanging.
No, not like hanging out.
No, I mean like when I think of hanging, I think
Yes.
of like a gallows. But now you just throw something.
You think
around
of
your
like
neck.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, when he has to shoot the noose.
Yep, exactly.
No, I think
That's an amazing part of that movie, though. It goes
it's
right
great.
through the rope and saves the kid's life.
Pretty dope.
Guys, go watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves
Prince of
right now
Thieves.
and listen to
director's
Temple
cut.
of the Dog. What is it called?
The director's cut with the finger through
Is
the
it?
hole.
What is the song called?
Temple of the Dog? It's
Temple of the Dog is the band.
Going Hungry.
No, it's like Banquet of Beggars Banquet or
Banquet of Thieves.
I don't mind stealing bread from the mouth. I just looked this up. It's so frustrating to not have Hunger Strike.
Hunger Strike.
Beggars Banquet? Is that, what am I talking about? Is that Rolling Stones?
No, not that I know of. I think
Okay.
the thing about Cornell, we were debating, and this I don't know what goes inside the decision making, but if it was a autoerotic asphyxia, he was in a hotel room, it was after a show, they were able to rule out foul play with the Surveillance.
Breaking news, 2017.
2017.
Chris Cornell found dead in his hotel bathroom.
To be fair, this was breaking news to me this morning. I kind of now, once it was brought up, I remembered it a little. But yeah, anyhow, would you as a family, which I've
Anything's
always
novel
said,
to the unaware.
that's how I operate.
Cool.
Should he? Is it more, and this is a question for the I wouldn't even want to say Christians, but just morally, like people who are really opposed to acknowledging suicide, is that like better to cover it up and make it seem like it was a
Sexual
autoerotic
asphyxia?
or are people so ashamed by the autoerotic asphyxia?
Oh, that's hard. That's
that
a
they
hard
would wanna
one for the
cover
good for the good Christian family.
I
What do
think
they
when-
go with? I think actually they would prefer death by suicide in
Yeah.
that instance, because then it's been, at least we're talking now about mental health. You could say like they had a really hard time, they were grappling with their demons. With the other ones, like they just had to like jerk off.
Right.
And,
Like, yeah, Epstein was an
that's too
autoerotic
much.
asphyxia situation. No, I think
Excuse me?
I think that
what does that have to do with Epstein?
well, the hanging in the cell. I was saying he's
No, they just cranked his head off.
yeah, that was my.
Okay, but I mean, I don't even think that was.
I also don't think in the case of Cornell, when a celebrity, I don't think they have a choice in that matter. I think like because law enforcement, it wasn't at home. He was in a hotel on the road.
Right.
Like I feel like they just probably that's straightforward.
Well, I love Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
I love Soundgarden. And I saw an incredible show. I want to say like 2016 maybe. It was in New Jersey at one of those big arenas. And it was Chris Cornell's like new project. I forget what it was called.
Audio Slave, maybe. Or-
I don't think it was Audio. It may have been.
I forget. He did another band.
Maybe.
Maybe
It might have just been like Chris Cornell and Friends or
Right.
something. It was, and he opened for Nine Inch Nails. And it was off the damn ass chain. And that was one of those situations where I was handed a truffle
Right.
and the edible THC truffle. And I took a bite and they said, "Oh my God, you just took like a million," and I'm
Too
like,
much.
why can't a dose be equivalent to how much of something you would normally eat?
Right. Well, there's that. There also could just be.
But I was literally supposed to
I
like
know.
shave a
See,
tiny
that's-
piece of this chocolate off with like a canine tooth.
A dose should be a single thing.
That's
like,
what I
yes,
mean.
it shouldn't have to be a nibble of a thing.
They're like, "Oh, just eat a fourth of this gummy bear." What the hell is that?
Come on
Who does
now.
that?
No one does that.
So I went on a
400 gummy
journey,
bears.
and I remember I felt like I was like whipping through space as like my body was the spaceship.
What year was this?
I said 2016, but I don't know.
This was, yeah,
I always think about I know when we were married, so I think it was after that.
2013,
No,
2011, 2014 we were married.
2011.
I don't know what year it is now.
Christ on a cracker.
2014, that's right.
I think we met in 2011.
I don't think we waited 3 years to marry.
Yeah, we
we
did. We were friends for a year, then dating for a year, then engaged for a year. Those are the three.
That makes sense.
Then married.
It's a good track.
Anywho,
A little more slowed down and old fashioned as compared to Love Is Blind or something like that. But we, too,
no,
we didn't waste too much time.
We had the They Live glasses on. It was the opposite blind.
It was. All right. So
Anyway, I thought we had so much to say about Chris Cornell, but I guess we don't.
well, I mean,
And Beggar's Banquet is the 7th studio album of English rock band The Rolling Stones.
there it's on one name of one of their albums. Okay.
But I said that.
Well, I believe you.
Thank you.
I believed you then before you even pulled any receipts.
Okay.
Anyhow, what do we want to? Well, before we get into
There's a lot.
errata, I just wanted to acknowledge, and I hate to say it, I really do hate to say it, but I looked at our AI generated chapters. So as you know, Apple Podcasts and Spotify both now like auto generate.
We don't sign up for that.
No,
we
no,
don't
no.
want that.
I don't think we can get out of it. Actually, like I think that's now part of publishing on these platforms.
I just feel like we're not like a chapter kind of thing. We're more like freeform.
We are. No, we're. That's what. Well, my point is that's what's so funny.
They're
about
trying to
this,
put
is
us
they're
in a box.
desperately trying to be like, hey, it helps, for listeners to be able to jump around and see what it is. But I just
Does
like.
it help with our pod?
I mean, Good luck to them. Good luck to this AI.
Hit me with a
scraping
chapter
up.
name.
Well, what I do like about at least, if you're trying to get people to listen to you as we, desperately howl at the moon in these late stages of our society here is like they do the transcript. Like Apple does this. So they're just, everything's being scraped. Everything's being...
What are the chapter names?
The chapter names, I'll just go from our last episode, which was Spade, Spader, Spadist.
Can I quickly say it's really hard to take you seriously with your new haircut?
No, please.
So I came home, quick
set the
tangent.
table.
Murph had shaved his own head. He missed a few patches in the back. That has not been resolved. It is disturbing looking. And now you have the very severe mustache because you got rid of your bushy blonde beard do. And you look like white Steve Harvey. That's the only
I am the
thing
white
I
Steve
can
Harvey
say.
of this household.
If he
yes.
had like half a rat tail in the back by accident.
Yeah, I didn't fully get that. But yeah, the mustache, bald head. I mean, it's me and Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Those are the two big. Because Bam Bam Bigelow was great back in the day.
It's kind of Dr.
wrestler,
Phil too. Sorry to say.
Phil McGraw. Yeah, but Phil McGraw, I would need to have the horseshoe. Phil McGraw
Right.
still has that back horseshoe and then full bald.
Right.
So I'm just going full bald. It's me and Steve.
Okay.
I'd rather Steve Harvey than Dr. Phil.
Of
Any
course.
day.
Of course.
Any day. I'm
we
on
love
that feud.
Steve.
Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, so
Okay, what are the chapters of our last pod?
do you ever have, I'm sure you do because you're half of this show. Well, you're like 60% of the show.
Wow, that's generous.
Do you ever just have to check yourself and be like, I can't, to get a single thought out, I have to dismiss like 19 tangents?
I think that's
to be-
executive function, though. That's a good sign of your brain.
Yes.
Saying, I have to edit right now to keep my eye on the prize.
Right. Because if we truly went like, nibbling a bit of a truffle and just followed every tangent.
Well, we have had
apps that were
it's usually
probably
the
help.
second half, and I listen, and it makes me laugh, but I'm like, if you were a new listener, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's like actually listening to like, you like cross a couple of wires and it makes weird noises.
Yeah, it's like a kitten on PCP, like with the like, look at this, look at that, look at this.
Okay, so can you tell me what those chapters are?
So the chapters, this is for our last Spade, Spader, Spadist, our last episode, if you heard it.
Which
if you
should
haven't
have
yet,
been called the bimbofication of Easter.
we realized upon, that which definitely should have been. I fell in love with my Spade, Spader, Spadist. and
I like
couldn't look
it.
away. It's good, but
It
for
doesn't
the
do much
algorithms,
for the, People are like,
bimbofication.
Spadist? Spadist sounds like
You're
an
a
STD.
Spadist. Sounds like what?
Like an old-timey word for like an STD.
Yes.
Got a case of Spadist?
I got a Spadist. I need to take some penicillin for my Spadist.
Yeah.
Yes. So the chapters. Now, Apple keeps it simple. So I'll just run through. Apple did 9 chapters, and apples are pretty good. But what I like is the flowery nature of Spotify. So here's the apples first. We got nuclear alarm, errata, AI finger test, CIA propaganda, music lyrics review, neighbor update, D-Day weather movie, 23 minutes. That's a beefy ass chapter. Catching print TikTok is 39 minutes, our beefiest chapter.
Wow.
And then SNL UK Feynman.
Okay. I mean, those are pretty.
Those
that
are-
makes me feel like we like have a real show.
We have just if you go chapters alone, we've got ourselves a
Wow.
real show here. Now we go
Maybe
over.
I was too hard on AI.
Here she comes. All right, now we know this is Gnome the Gnome. We don't want that one. We're looking for Spade, Spader, Spadist. Okay, the chapters.
Like you'd say, he had a Spadist, so we just did hand stuff.
Yeah, right. We kept it just to hand stuff. Nothing could be transferred there. All right, so in Spotify, our AI chapters are unpacking nuclear threats and Trump's Easter F-word tweet. Very specific.
This is not feeling like titles. It's feeling like descriptions.
Yeah.
It's not as
Correcting
pithy.
errata and confronting AI realities with Glenn Beck. I love that now people are like, wait, did they have him on the pod?
Yeah.
Did they confront AI realities
This week with Glenn, we should do AI Glenn Beck and talk to AI Glenn Beck about AI George Washington.
Wait, we will. That's
Will
that's
we?
the water we'll waste. The one water we'll
I'll
waste
drink
is-
Diet Coke for a week if we can get AI Glenn Beck up in here.
Fair enough. Yeah, to offset. We'll do our offsetting
yeah.
of water. We just won't.
Take
I'll
a
drink
horse bath.
even less water than I do now. All right. The D-Day weather drama and Brendan Fraser's porpoise roll.
You know, I
And
don't
then
like
porpoise
that
is in quotes.
pronunciation.
Porpoise is in quotes. His porpoise roll.
Okay.
Unraveling Poppy Bush's alleged role in the JFK assassination.
Unraveling.
We unraveled
Who
it.
is,
Did
like,
we ever?
This bot is having some fun.
They're having some fun at our expense.
Little creative license.
Exploring TikTok's cultural impact and the catching print phenomenon.
Wow.
The thing I like about Spotify is I think Apple's better for just little title chapters for condensed, but Spotify I think is listening more. You know, like it seems like Apple's just.
I think they're listening.
Spotify is engaging.
I hate Spotify.
I know. That's why I said I hate having to acknowledge that they're a deep dive into SNL legends and comedic dynamics. From Hillary's gutsy show to Luigi Mangione's prison letter, from Hillary, but see, they're following our
again. It just feels like a
thought
description, though.
Yeah, debating SNL UK's Edge and Chloe Fineman's controversial story.
Okay, this just feels like we're jerking off to make remember.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's just. I just wanted to do that. Listen, that was something I thought of doing as a recurring segment, and then I realized
those chapters.
No.
I do sometimes look down if I have to pause when I'm listening on Apple Podcasts, and I'll see a chapter, and I'm like, "Whoa, we didn't put that in there," and it's very upsetting for me.
It's jarring.
Yeah. Speaking of jarring, can I do a segment about our tip jar?
Tip jar. Oh yeah, do a tip jar.
So
segment.
I just have to set.
You've been
this up.
hounding me for.
I've been
months.
hounding Murph. I'm like, can we check the tip jar? I just had this feeling that we had some money in our tip jar because we have a little tip jar in our episode description and on our Captivate site for our pod. And I didn't think it was a lot. I thought maybe $50 or $100. We've been doing this for 6 months ish, right?
This is our 26th episode.
Murph kept saying, well, I can't sign in. It's a different interface. I have to figure it out. I have to find a password. Not giving me the information. I'm hounding him. Last week he sends a screenshot of our tips. What do we have? $5?
Well, let me look.
Not even. We had like $4. And it was a crushing blow for me. Not that like $50 would have paid a bill, but it was more about my ego and what I thought was going on behind the scenes.
Sure. I'm trying to pull up because I sent you the photo. Oh, here it is. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a 62-cent tip.
That's nice. That one feels like it was probably $1, and they'd have to take out.
That is exactly
fees.
what goes on. And then
that's a lot of fees.
From
38
Anonymous,
cents?
this is real. So what their message they left us is this is real.
Okay.
And then there's another one that was a $5 tip. It looks like
that's nice. $5.
Yeah, it was $1 and $5. That's what we got. So $5 tip from W's secret love child that says totally not how I get my CIA activation codes. Nope, which I do.
And how much was that one?
That was a $5 tip.
So we got two $5 and a $1?
One $5 and a $1. 2 tips total.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, which I love. And thank you to
no,
W's
and
secret
again,
love child
I'm not,
and Anonymous.
times are tough.
No,
this is a free pod.
Sure.
Until we throw it behind a paywall, get what you can.
Yeah.
But
no, it was very funny.
It was just like a reality check for me.
Sure. That face when you think you're
I just did the face.
Great. So smash that tip jar, please. And thank you to those.
Don't smash the jar.
Thank you. Just throw pick the fucking jar up, throw it against the wall, smash it up. Yeah, it's excellent. We appreciate all of our listeners for real. We're up to 200 over.
If everyone gave
$1,
but then we only get 62 cents on the dollar, which seems crazy.
I mean, Captivate's better than most. I mean, I know.
Spotify, I feel like every band gets 1 cent.
1 cent, yes. I'm going hungry. Indeed.
I was going to say, Temple of the Dog is like, please, sir, may I have a bone?
We talked about, just to circle back and pin, the Cornell. I was like, who is part, now that I know for fact Cornell is gone, who the hell in the, I don't even want to say Seattle grunge scene, but the grunge scene at large, who is still alive?
Let me tell you who. The ones that are not good. I think there's I think there's a correlation here. I'm doing a weird
power
hand
spider.
stance.
They call that
power spider,
like a boss. Like
you take a pic
like
so
a boss
we can
bitch.
show the listeners.
Let me show this power spider here.
Let me explain what I mean. I don't know if I can. My brain is dead. Are we getting the shot?
We got it.
Okay. Basically, here's who's left. David Grohl, Eddie Vedder. What do they have in common?
Ed and Dave. Ed Vedder, Dave Grohl.
I feel like they've always been people to me that read as inauthentic, a little more grifty, a little more cheesy.
A little more cheesy.
Like we've talked about Vedder on this
little
pod.
less
We don't need
tortured.
a little less tortured, but like Vedder is kind of like playing a character.
Yeah.
Like not having the like soul of the grunge really, just
Right,
like finding a niche and whatever. He's
cosplaying.
talented and all of that. But like Grohl kind of being like, huh, you know.
Yeah.
And then he's in the band with this like fucking tortured genius, you know, and it's like not fair to compare, but we do.
We do. We must.
So I think it's interesting that those are the people that went on to have healthy lives and families. I mean, David Grohl has secret families. He has so many families. He's a family man and through.
He's such a well-balanced, adjusted individual that he's got multiple
Extra
families.
families.
Yes.
He's like, my other family's a family, is a bumper sticker on his car. I guess it'd be my other car is a family. That seems
my
weird.
other car is a family. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my other car is a Zelensky. I think you had mentioned too that Novoselic. You said is some sort of right winger.
I think he's taken some kind of right wing turn.
What has happened?
I
to
don't.
Chris
I cannot.
Novoselic?
Here, this brings me to a new segment I wanted to put by you, put up across your desk.
Put it on.
What do you think about this new segment? It kind of came up last time. Honorable mention. And it's stuff that we have nothing to say. We don't know anything about it. We just throw it out there. Because that's a lot of stuff. Like we'll say stuff and then we're like, well, I don't really know and I don't have anything to say.
Honorable mention.
Yeah. And
I
then
like it.
Sometimes we're forced to do 39 minutes on it and Lord knows what we say. But I think we could have like a built-in time where we just say, I feel like Chris Novoselic has taken a right-wing turn. And that's all I have to say about that. Honorable mention.
I kind of like that.
And then if our listeners want to go
Deeper. Do they want to know? Well, for this specific thing, I just had to look this up.
Is it not true?
Because it's Nirvana. Well, no, but here's what I think is interesting about it is we hear a lot of people say that as a dismissal of certain people's opinions and which I don't,
What is
give a
it,
shit about.
libertarian?
Well, I'm about to
libertarian.
look. Libertarian.
Libertarian.
Yes, perhaps. I'm looking at political and social activism. This is based on just his wiki, casual wiki. He was interested in politics at a young age, including the Northern Ireland conflict.
The troubles.
Electoral reform, whatever the hell. He considered a run for lieutenant governor of Washington as a Democrat in 2004, challenging an incumbent. His first book of Grunge and Government. Let's Fix This Broken Democracy. That's the title of his first book.
It's giving like early MTV.
He supported Obama
Rock
in
the
08.
vote. Okay, so what?
Later broke with the Democratic Party, stating it's a top-down structure, averse to reform from its grassroots. True.
Not untrue.
Okay, he ran for county clerk in Washington, later withdrew. Blah, 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 blah. Husbandry. What is he in? The National Grant?
Husbandry. Is that like the keeping of large animals?
Husbandry. I'm not sure.
I think husbandry is like when it's like horses mating and like sheep and stuff.
Yeah.
Animal husbandry. That's a thing.
This is a whole animal
Unless
husband.
he's just referring to being a husband.
Unless me and Dave Grohl, we were obsessed with being husbands to
I've
as
been
many
dabbling
wives.
in husbandry, meaning I've taken a wife.
His so in 2014, I love, what I do love about the randomness of Wikipedia here. There's a citation that I will follow later, maybe. In 2014, Novoselic voiced his support for Eddie Vedder's statements regarding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
What did Vedder say?
Saying the people of Palestine and Israel deserve peace and prosperity. It is the knuckleheads on both sides that should be criticized.
Oh, both
and not the
sides.
singer from a rock band.
Wow.
So Vedder...
That's a
Vedder,
horror show.
What I would guess based on that is Vedder both sides, and then the Zionists came for him, as they do when you both sides. Mm-hmm. Even that is a bridge too far, so he probably got criticized. But
that's so funny because you think I'm going to keep everyone happy, and then you piss everyone off.
Yeah, you
know, because who is that for?
Who is that for? Yeah. So Novoselic lost. He's an old man who lost his mind.
So why do I think he's right wing? You tell me.
I'm going just through the rest of this as quickly as I can.
Okay, well, can you go faster?
I'm an This is a quote of his. I'm an anarcho-capitalist, socialist, moderate. I don't know. And continued to say that while his political views couldn't be
Methodist.
easily categorized.
Ceramicist.
I'm a husbandrist and a philanthropist.
What? Something happened recently.
I'm going.
Where he caught some
Trump,
shit.
He made a Facebook post. So Chris Novoselic is posting on Facebook. This is where he needs to be.
Gorge.
In 2020, discussing Trump's speech in response to unrest following the murder of George Floyd. He called Trump, quote, strong and direct, but added that, quote, he should not be sending troops into states. All right, whatever.
This is not. Just get to the what
we're
happened.
Done. That's it. That
no,
was
no.
it.
There was something that happened recently that I read.
In 2024, he founded the Cascade Party of Washington. That's it.
All right, that was so boring.
That was worthless.
What would that chapter be called? Taking a nap? Here, husbandry is the science and practice of cultivating crops and breeding/raising livestock, focusing on careful management, resource conservation, and animal welfare.
I love all of that.
I'm just saying that's what it is.
That's husbandry. Thank you.
That's husbandry. You know you're a husbandryist if you're breeding sheep and cultivating crops.
Are you ready for errata, or you got some more stuff?
I got some more stuff.
All right.
I wanted to say we have not been nuked yet, nor have we nuked.
We haven't been nuked, nor... Oh, that's right.
That's
Last
of
week,
note.
That is of note.
Last week we were talking about getting under the desk.
Out of the bunker
shelter.
into the light.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a strange, stay of execution. A stay of...
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to end you. Never mind.
Never
and then
mind.
we
2 more weeks, which we're almost done with the 2 weeks, and now there's...
The Strait of Hormel.
The Hormuz is a mess.
Hormel.
Hormel.
It's chilly night. The Strait of Hormel.
Open the Hormel. The Strait of Hormel goes right into the mouth and right out.
They're missing an opportunity to
toilet.
not get that ad out there.
They
right
are. The
now.
Strait of Hormel needs to make a play.
Did you see the stuff about the Pope?
What's going on with the Pope?
Popes
Our Chicago
be poppin'.
Pope. Popes be poppin'.
Remember that?
I do. That was a great line.
Oh, that's a callback to an episode of a podcast we did with Kurt Bronler.
Yes.
Popes be poppin'.
Many years ago.
Lord knows what we were talking about. Anyway, the Pope was like, war is bad. Blessed are the peacemakers. And then Trump came out and was like, the Pope is weak on crime, which is my favorite thing ever.
The Pope is weak on crime.
The Pope is weak on crime. I want a frickin' sticker of that.
That is incredible. Well, now, past popes were very weak on a specific crime.
Well, yes.
You could say.
Yeah, they were almost enabling the crimes.
Almost.
Aiding and abetting in crimes.
Aiding and abetting.
Perpetrating crimes.
Yeah. But yeah, the Pope is weak on crime is very funny, and I'm not sure what the hell.
Well, and then the Pope had to come back and be like, nah, dog. And then Iran was like, we stand with the Pope. It's just such a weird time.
It is a very weird time.
I saw a tweet that was like, something about that, like Iran is saying Jesus is blessed, and we're like fighting measles, and they're like, what year is it? Kind of like it just feels like very the old times are back.
The old times are back. There's also just such a huge rift on the right, which is like fun because the left is always eating its own tail, but I do find it more amusing and more outrageous. Because like not to be outdone, the left is now trying. Like there's this whole Hassan Piker like discourse that's just really hilarious. But the right eating its own tail, where it's like coming out, Tucker's being like, "No, this is antichrist behavior," from Trump with the Easter tweet starting with what we talked about last week. But then Trump's what's her name, Paula? I always want to say Paula Dean. It ain't Paula Dean, but it might as well be. Paula Green. What's her name? Paula.
I don't know any Paulas.
She's his like spiritual White House advisor, but she's like an old school televangelist, and she's like.
Is she the one that had the T-shirt that said "Grandma DoorDash"?
I think so. Yes.
She's like the short hair.
Paula White Kane.
Does she like that short, like asymmetrical hair? Oh no, that's not who I was talking about.
She speaks in tongues. She's the woman who has done a few, like after the 2020 election, she was like, haven't gone to Africa, never gone. Like she does like these weird, she
Whoa.
literally speaks in tongues.
Y'all don't want to talk about 9/11? Nah. That's
nah.
Mariah Carey.
Link to her tongues in bio.
Link to tongues in bio.
Description, rather. We'll link to that because her speaking in tongues is very fun. But anyway, she is now like kind of was on Easter, was making Trump into this messianic figure.
Well, that was the photo
and
he
then
posted.
the photo he posted, yes.
Wow.
Which was then deleted. He rarely deletes.
Well, that's the thing, is I don't like Trump like this.
No,
I think
don't
he's
want him
funnier when he
deleting.
just never backs down. He's totally bombastic and ridiculous and insane, and we can all have a chuckle.
He almost seems more dangerous as he's now like
I
all
think
over
so.
the place.
Well, because it
he's,
feels very obvious that he's being blackmailed.
yes, puppets.
And he just seems scared. And
yeah,
it's,
he's an old husk. He's
hard
lost
to
his.
watch.
I mean, beyond lost his fastball. He has rants now that are just are very, as much as we all jumped on Biden, I'm like, you could very easily. They're both like, and Trump, I think, rode the wagon a lot harder, like than Biden. Biden was getting
the methamphetamines. You mean?
Yeah, methamphetamines and just like HGH, like whatever he's using
He's
to
taking
keep
that
the pace
stuff.
up. He doesn't sleep.
He's taking that stuff they give soldiers in war that keeps them up for like 6 days.
Like, yeah, I want to say modafinil, but whatever it is, yeah.
Motrin. Yeah, so they post this photo of him as Jesus, and then he comes out and he doesn't just take it down.
Right.
He says, "Oh, I thought it was me as a doctor," and he's literally wearing one of those like old timey robes, like dresses.
It's
like,
clear.
There's
It's
just no way.
just your head on that Jesus body we all have seen.
And then he said, "I thought it was me as part of the Red Cross healing people," which also doesn't even help. Like there's no way he thought that. But even if he did, you'd be like, "Okay,
Yeah.
what?"
Well, and what about the like Statue of Liberty with a jetpack on flying in the sky? Like there is a nurse next to him from the 1950s, one of those nurses with those old like nurse hats on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I was a doctor. I'm like, if your doctor entered instead of scrubs, they had that on.
It's
Those
just
flowing Jesus with the light in the hands. No.
Who is he healing there? Do we know?
Who does it looks like? Yeah, is that a real person or is that just very interesting?
Anyway, popes be popping. I just thought that was like, what are we doing, guys?
What are we doing?
What's
here?
going on?
What's going on?
Wait, I wanted to read John Cusack's thoughts.
Oh
on
yeah,
this,
give us Cusack, please.
because I think he just says it so perfectly.
Cusack's kind of a real one, yeah.
Yeah, he's based. I look to Cusack for my political takes.
You look to him, yeah.
This is a quote.
When I need to know what to think, I go to John Cusack, not Joan, John.
This is a quote from the man who played Lou Dobler in Say Anything.
Yes.
Trump was told to attack Iran by his master, Netanyahu. Otherwise, Bibi presses the Epstein button.
So straightforward. You know what I do
I
like?
much-mouthed it, but you understand.
Yeah. And I think that there's a simplicity there
That's
that
what I
feels
love.
very true.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's really debating that other than, the Daily is like tripping over themselves. They literally had an episode where they brought two different people in to basically be like, well, here, who's really calling the shots here? Like, is it Netanyahu or Trump? And their conclusion, they made sure to be like, no, Trump is absolutely acting. Whatever with Bibi is like, oh, we have similar interests, but then we also, and I'm like, it's just so clear that he did not want to. And again, what's funny is it's not letting him off the hook. People are always like, why does everyone want to let Trump off the hook? And I'm like, let him off the hook for being someone who's like sexually assaulted children and is the worst person. Like if they have this on him, that's not letting him off the hook. It's just saying like, I don't think he would have went to Iran because Bibi's been trying to do that for decades to get an American president to go. And now he just happened to have the leverage to do it because of a blackmail operation, which seems very clear.
It also just seems like path of least resistance logically.
Yes.
Like there aren't like 5,000 insane things happening at the same time that have nothing to do with each other.
No.
There's just a through line here.
And it's kind of like what we talked about a little bit last week, where I wanted to try to follow that metaphor of the strings, where you're like, these are the dots, and then you connect the dots. The dots are the facts that I feel like we all have to or likely agree on.
But
then
that's the problem, is that if you don't even agree on the dots, then where's the thread going?
That's the problem. That is the problem. So you gotta like, the facts have to be the facts, and some of those facts are uncomfortable. They have to be.
Who's that? AI Glenn Beck?
Facts me the facts. Well, I'm like beyond with this AI Glenn. We need to get him on the show.
You know what this John quote does beg, though?
What is that?
What does Joan Cusack think of this whole thing?
What does Joan Cusack think about
her silence?
The Strait of Hormuz?
It's deafening.
Joan, your silence on Hormuz is deafening.
Joan, tell us what you think, baby.
She's a monarchist. She wants Iran to be back under the leadership of the monarchs.
Didn't know that about Joan.
No, I don't know. I think Jones has some right wing twang.
I don't think so. Okay, we start an honorable mention. So if you have anything you want to say. Oh, yeah. I just had one other thing I wanted to talk about, which was, and it's an honorable mention because I don't know anything about it.
Please.
I read a little blurb on Joan Quigley, you've referenced her before. She was the Reagan's astrologer. Mm-hmm. But she was in the White House, and they said she weighed in on like everything they did. Mm-hmm. Like, is Ronald going to take a shit? Is Ronald going to do Iran-Contra? Like, she was involved.
Nancy. Right. She was actually in that, which is kind of what I was saying. I think his administration, from his standpoint, had a more mystical quality than people remember.
But we're sitting here being like, oh, Poppy Bush was like the CIA vice president pulling all the strings. And I'm like, no, Joan Quigley was pulling all the strings.
Joan was pulling the strings.
She was like pulling astral strings. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Astral Weeks.
What an album.
Would you kiss my eye? She was trying to kiss Reagan's eye.
She was. No, I think she was you know what, though? She was probably the puppeteer in terms of Ronald himself. Because Ron was
not Nance.
His emotional intelligence and his ability to connect with people, massive. Great performer in that way. Could reach out and really, got a lot of reach out and touch faith. Even before it was hit for Dems to jump ship, he was a very bipartisan darling in the early days. Good hair. Just a great actor to cast as a president.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think he was dumb in a lot of other ways. And I think,
well, yeah, I mean, he was an actor.
Poppy was probably like, go, Nance, go. Like, go with Ronald and with your astrologers, get your palms read while we're doing what we're doing.
But I'm just saying it's not both. It's not, right. There was this like whole plan in motion, like global, whatever. And then it's also this like, I'm saying I think she was an asset.
I see what you're saying. Yes, to keep in. Yeah, that would make sense.
Joan Quigley was an asset because if Ron's listening to Nance listening to Joan, then Joan needs Poppy in her ear. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
What's the string of command? Like, I would love to say Joan's calling the shots, but how does that mesh with the
she wouldn't. They wouldn't
project?
Allow for that. You're right. She was there to keep as
pacify.
Another way to whisper into the council.
Well, if he's like, I think firing all these what are they called? Air traffic controllers who are trying to unionize is too much. And she's like, but the moon is in Taurus. I mean, I'm not educated enough to like really speak to it. But then you feel like, okay, I'm one with the universe.
That's
like,
right.
We're just meshing those together in a way where you're puppeteering him from multiple angles.
You're right. No, I think that's true.
What sign was Reagan?
I was just thinking that. The Iran-Contra stuff too is very funny because if you recall his final public statements on it were just like I lied, not like basically what he said was I lied not knowing that I was lying. Like, do you remember his final, like after all the congressional hearings on it?
That's a great
Ollie
excuse.
North took the fault. He was literally just like, well, what I said might not have been true and I didn't know it wasn't true. But at the time I thought it was true and it wasn't true. Turns out it might not have been true, but what's true is true.
It was true to me.
Yeah, it was kind of. And you're like,
yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Wow.
Well, that sounds like the babblings of an
Aquarius.
Of a great astrologer.
Which he was.
He was an Aquarius.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog. That dog. He's given us a dog.
No wonder you love him.
Do I love him?
Do you love him?
I love to hate.
Do you
I
think?
love to hate him.
Love to hate
I
him.
love to hate him.
Do you
Like,
think Joan Quigley was involved with like the redification of the White House? You know how like Nance went insane and everything was red?
Mm-hmm.
They like redid everything, all the new china. It was like Ronnie Red.
Ronnie Red, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that had satanic vibes.
Sure.
You
Now
know?
we're getting into it.
But I don't know. Now I'm like, what's going on?
What's it going on?
So honorable mention, because I need to dig into Joan Quigley a little more.
An honorable mention, I don't even want to say it because I think I already said it last week and I wanted to dive into. I'll bring it back another time. No, I have no other honorable
He
mentions.
died of pneumonia. That's so old school. Sadly.
Ronnie?
I guess everybody dies of pneumonia. She was a cancer. That
This is
checks out.
Nancy or
Nance. Oh, look at that power red. She's always in red.
She was always in red. In red, I said. Now you're dead.
Wow. What's
Yeah.
that from?
Just me trying to Dr. Seuss her straight to hell, I guess.
She was the second wife.
Of Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Anywho, Joan Quigley, shout out. Where is she now? Probably dead. How did she die? We don't know.
We don't know.
Sexual asphyxia.
They tried to cover it up, say it was suicide, but it was sexual asphyxia.
Isn't
Why
that?
were her pants around her ankles?
Why were her silk stockings around her ears?
Why was there a workout video with Henry Fonda on the television? Jane
can
brought
say?
Henry in for a cameo on one of her workout videos. I
Why
don't know.
not?
Anyhow,
Want to get into her?
I want to get into errata because there's a bridge.
Oh.
Inarada de vida, honey.
Don't you know that I love you? Bridge me, baby.
Bridge
Take me across.
Take you to the river. The bridge is
Like a bridge.
on the heels of the astrological weeks.
Astral Weeks.
Is I said that the late great Aleister Crowley was the late great Anton LaVey.
Oh, yeah.
So very different style. Two figures from two different generations. There
Are they
wasn't
both
a lot
Satanists?
of overlap. Yes. But occultist Satanist, and also
I thought
I'm gonna
Crowley
get
was
feedback on
was a
this because
magician as well, though. Like he was trying to
he was
be
a
like,
mystic of sorts.
yeah,
But LaVey
necromancer.
was far more of a.
Who is Anton LaVey again?
Anton LaVey was like more of the 60s and 70s face of it, whereas Crowley was an old school British dude.
Master
Anton LaVey.
Crowley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anton
He was
LaVey.
the godfather of the modern like
Right.
occultist Satanist movements. I think he also had some spiritual elements where LaVey was more about the carnal, not atheism, because if there's a belief in the satanic,
Is that
but-
agnostic then? I never know what all those words
Yeah,
mean.
I think Crowley just had more of like a religion. Anyway, Crowley was also allegedly a British intelligence asset.
Oh, here we go. And so you're
LaVey
saying
was more of a pop-like figure. LaVey was more of like, he was before MTV generation, but he felt more like, I'm the Satanist, like almost
Gotcha.
like professional wrestler style.
Yes.
Whereas Crowley was more like, I'm a prim and proper man
Yeah.
who believes in Satan's power.
yeah. That makes sense. And you're saying that last week when we were joking about who Barbara Bush Sr.'s biological father
When we were connecting
was,
those dots.
which we've like said because Candace Owens
Yes.
had said it was.
It's a hilarious,
Crowley,
nonsensical
you said
theory that has been
LaVey.
debunked every which way. But yeah,
So you're mixing up your
My Satanist.
satanic.
sure. LaVey had the
Figures.
power look too, didn't he? Anton LaVey had that like power goatee.
Yeah, it's ringing
like,
a bell, but I
bald-
honestly, that's barely an honorable mention for me because I know so little.
All right. Well, anyway, I know that I fucked that up because I was listening back and I was like, wait, did I just listen? If you're gonna, you need to be straight on your outrageous conspiratorial statement. So if you're gonna claim that Barbara Bush's father was,
Yeah.
you lose all credibility if you say Anton LaVey. instead
Well,
of
that one's fun
Aleister.
too, though.
But I don't think that's even possible based on the ages. is
Well,
the
unless you
problem.
believe in science
That's true.
or
Which
magic.
we do not
I
around
mean,
here.
around here, I don't know what to
I
believe.
followed the science and it took me right to the toilet.
Well, speaking of Barbara Bush, I have something to say.
Please.
An errata, which you let me go on. I have a bone to pick with you. You let
Please
me
do.
go on and on and
here we
on
go.
last week with my flowery stories about the boy from Texas.
That's right.
Talking about Poppy. And he's just a big old wasp from Massachusetts and Connecticut.
That's right. Not at all from Texas.
No, he just ended up there. And it was real egg on my face how long you let me go on with my little tale.
Yeah. I think it was...
I mean, we take some like poetic justice.
I was enraptured. I think I was a little... I didn't want to cut you off.
Were you scared?
I was a little afraid to correct you because you had that look in your eye where like, if you fucking come for me now.
Now you're making me look bad.
I'm kidding. No, what
I'm
it was is I thought
and I'm a monster. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Just for the
My
record.
errata is you've been beating me all week. No, I think no, but for real your story was so you were on a tear, so I was like, let her cook. Did she throw in some weird ingredients? I almost believed.
Yeah, and we say on this pod, we're going to fuck stuff up. But you just let me go on and on and on.
Yeah. No, they're a waspy family who then
Which of
rebranded.
Course they are.
Rebranded.
I think I just thought what happened with him had happened a generation before. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I know they're an old dynasty family. I don't think they just popped up in Texas.
No.
But I think I thought he had spent his like boyhood there wrangling steers or whatever that's husbandry.
Yes, he was poppy husbandry.
Doing husbandry, but he didn't.
No, he didn't.
And I apologize to the listeners for my rendition.
And now W, for putting on the cowboy boots and the hat, I believe W was born in Texas.
No, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. The next generation was Texas.
Yeah, that's right. That explains a lot. Also, Poppy, HW, was the second son, and he had 4 siblings, so he's one of 5. And I remember I couldn't find that information because they really hide it in the Bush dynasty. They're just like telling you who did what. Yeah, but they won't just give you the family tree. And my only point of that was we were saying, did he really go to war? Did he really shoot JFK? And I think yes, because...
on both counts.
Yes, because... You're saying they wouldn't send their like prize son. And I'm saying in those days you had enough kids that you did.
You did. And you thought, oh, here's one route. If this guy survives and can be a war hero, he then has this path ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because also he's the second son. So you're thinking, oh, he's perfect. He's been groomed for greatness. And I'm like, they had like, he's a spare.
He is a spare. He is a spare. And
so if you think about it that way.
Well,
they had Jeb.
It's Jeb.
Yeah, but I'm saying W, they tried to take W the route, a similar route of like go to be a war hero, and he just did a bunch of cocaine and just went AWOL from the military.
Yeah, he jumped off the frickin' Coast Guard boat and
do you remember when they
surfed away?
That came out before the 2004. Mm-hmm. Like they did the Swift boat move with John Kerry, which was very weird and funny.
Yeah.
But they tried like that all those documents were released on W's AWOL shit and his cocaine use, all of that.
I love that because Trump just straight up draft dodged, which,
Bone spurs now.
I don't think anybody should be drafted, even if they're
right.
the Antichrist. But I love being like, sure, Dad, I'll get on the boat.
Yeah.
Little salute, and then you're just gone.
Then you're gone.
You're like, see ya. Yeah. Also,
he's like, anybody got a little nose candy?
Everybody made fun of W for being
for the wrong reasons.
For a cheerleader, and so was Poppy. That was actually like a legacy thing in their family. You go to Yale and you're part of the cheer squad and whatever.
An actual cheerleader.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you wanted him to be like you got to raise him in Connecticut. You're raising him down in frickin'
That's right.
Texas. You're not going to get the boy that you were. Those times are gone.
You will not. And was W, my question was W the oldest of
I think he's older than
first
Jeb.
child. Yeah, he was
he was the prince.
He was the prince.
Prince George.
Almost turned into the pauper.
You know he's the first because he's George
W.
Jr.
Right. Well, he's not Junior, though.
I know, but if you're George and George, you're the first son,
right.
Probably, unless something went very wrong.
Yeah, Prescott Bush was a senator from Connecticut, so they had his grandfather.
Yeah.
So that he was being groomed.
Oh, I know about Prescott. I did a dive.
You did a Prescott dive.
That's the thing about our pod is I don't know anything when I say it, but then later I find it out.
That's what's great. That's why you need to.
Some would say it's backwards.
Some would say you really go the extra mile.
Later.
And
nobody knows.
You go the not the extra mile. You go the required mile a little late after the race is over to get there, you know?
Thank you.
Yes.
And then I say, I'm here. And they say, no one's been here for 200 years.
And you say, is this thing on?
Okay, I know it feels like we're edging into bushy, but I have a few more errata. Do you?
We're edging.
We're edging.
I'm
an
almost
edge
there.
lord.
Oh, I'm almost there.
Do you have any more errata?
My errata was just the...
We covered LaVey.
That's it. That
Okay.
was my only errata.
Here's another one, and you're not going to like it.
No, fuck.
I was right again. Fassbender's dick in Shame, you claimed was a prosthetic. I looked it up. It was not. It was a short shoot. It was a 25-day shoot. He said, fuck it, I'll do it live. And they did it. That is his peen. And I knew it. I knew it in my heart. I knew it in my loins.
So now this is...
And you said it wasn't. And I knew it was.
Now, this is before... If there's also everyone is 18 or above. Now, with intimacy coordinators...
In
there's
Shame, everybody was old.
Right. And this was before a lot of the new intimacy coordinator protocols and things on movies where they're basically like,
Shame was probably like the last gen of doing things the old way. Because it's not an old movie, but it's like, what, 15 years old, 10 years old?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely probably...
Steve McQueen.
2010.
Steve McPeen. Putting the peen in
McPeen.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So then, I'll acknowledge that.
Thank you.
I will accept and acknowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you, Michael Fassbender.
Thank you, Fassbender, for bending us fast.
Oh. All right. And last but not least, you were right. Chloe Feynman is from Berkeley, but she went to NYU, which is why I thought that.
That makes sense.
I remembered I'd seen a video of her walking through her apartment. It was really nice, so I thought it must be her parents, but then I forgot she had that SNL money, and she's just one of those kids that has...
Just one. And they all tend to be on that program. There's not a lot of kids.
Isn't that interesting?
There isn't a lot of kids there who didn't come from it. You know what I mean? And by it, I mean everything.
Yeah, they're like Tish.
Tishies. What's we called them? The Tishies.
Tishy Bishy Bonfishos.
Tishy Bishy Bonfishos. They do all right for themselves, don't they?
They really do. I guess the talent in the meritocracy just, it's so interesting.
It's interesting how it works. And that's what I loved
richer,
about
better.
Those statements. He took some flack
Funnier.
for them. But James Kimmel.
Oh, don't get me
And I was
started.
like, he understands the meritocracy of it all.
Wait, this is Blackface Kimmel from The Man Show?
Yes, he was like, listen, the cream rise to the top. Could we have hired a black Karl Malone impersonator, or did we just want to get the best one?
Which is me.
And then I just I had to do blackface.
He said this, I want to just, for our listeners, if you don't know what a loser Jimmy Kimmel is. He talked about the meritocracy, I think this was like probably 5 years ago, when they were like, why are all the late night hosts just like
white guys
boring
named James.
white guys named Jim or whatever?
Yeah.
And he said, well, it's a meritocracy. Those are just the best and the brightest. Those are the funniest people alive.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
I agree and respect that.
Oh, Jimmy.
What's funny about the meritocracy comments, listen, at the end of the day, we all know there was plenty of blackface out there for many years. One of the beloved British, what's his name? He has a bald head like me. He was part of, he was with co-hosting Great British Bake Off with Noel Fielding. You know the guy, he's like a pudgy little British guy named Matt or something. What's his name?
Paul Hollywood?
Not... No, give me that handshake. Handsome Hollywood is a whole. He literally is the opposite looking person to Paul Hollywood.
I kind of think I know who you're talking. Oh, from Little Britain?
Little Britain, yes.
He's great.
Anyway, they did a bunch of blackface. My point is only.
Well, we're not here to dig up the past.
But with James Kimmel, no, we're not at all. We're here to talk about the present.
Which is all we do.
That's all we do. No, but James Kimmel, what's funny is. Everyone kind of rallied around him, of course, when you're like, oh, well, Trump's getting him booted off the air very, loosely, indirectly, which was so clearly that. Is like, yeah, that's lame. But it's like people refuse to hold any of the two ideas. You're like, also, it was really lame when Jimmy Kimmel had Hunter Biden on with his memoir to suck him off and not talk about the laptop.
To suck those M&Ms off his phallus.
Talk about Fassbender.
Talk about that.
I'll put Hunter's up against Fassbender's any day.
He would never use a prosthetic.
Hunter, no.
Here's my problem with modern times.
What is it?
It isn't the evil. It isn't the greed. It isn't the destruction of the human condition or the natural world. It's making me side with the biggest fucking losers imaginable. Why do we have to go hard for Kimmel? Obviously, enemy of my enemy because of the free speech bullshit. But I'm like, I don't want to be out here stumping for Kimmel.
No.
I don't want to be like cheering for TSA because ICE is taking over the airports.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to be cheering for the police because they're like incrementally better than fucking ICE. Like,
than just masked agents shooting people in the streets.
Yes. Yeah. Like, do not
the
make...
Pope. We're out here standing the Pope.
Literally.
Who I would, as you know, no matter what. But I understand why
you're
would.
A dyed-in-the-wool Catholic.
It's true.
No, exactly, though. Like, I have to sit here stumping for the fucking Vatican. It's like the most evil, disgusting, like Nazi gold-ass temple of child abuse. And I have to be like, wow, it was so inspirational what the Pope said when they said war is bad. Like, why?
You are, it is like this timeline has us.
It's bad.
Enemy of my enemy is my, and then you just want to just Cornell and just.
No, you're like, wasn't it so cool when Cory Booker? No.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
When Cory Booker blew for 25 hours.
No, when we had to be like, Nancy Pelosi tore paper. Oh my God. Yes, Queen.
Yes, Kente cloth. Kente cloth queen.
The kneeling in the Kente cloth. I mean, do we want to go down this road?
We don't, but we do.
But we can't.
But we must.
We're out of gas. Pain at the pump is real. We can't go down the road.
The Strait of Hormuz is closed to this conversation.
But Hormel is open. Chilly. An affordable dinner for your family as the world crumbles. Anyway, I just really hate that.
Yeah, no, I agree that we've been, this pitting the enemy of the enemy thing is very, and it is, the lesser of evils has rotted through politics into culture now. Mm-hmm. Like at a level where you're like, oh no, the best you can do for the resistance of fash is James Kimmel.
Well, it's fucking Newsom
and
doing
Gruesome
like all
Newsom.
caps tweets. And they're like, get him, Newsom. And I'm like, this man like shoots unhoused people for sport, allegedly, in the streets. Like,
no,
what are we doing? What are we doing? But I see good people I know and love.
Good people.
And their brains are
good
breaking.
Family
and they have to say, wow.
They have to say, yeah. Wow. They have to say, wow, I'm now watching. I didn't know Kimmel was still on the air, but I am now wearing a James Kimmel mask
to work.
I'm wearing a Jimmy Kimmel mask to work.
I'm doing Karl Malone blackface from The Man Show to honor James Kimmel because I believe in our First Amendment rights.
That's right. And I mean, those are the kind of gymnastics they've pushed us to.
I ain't no Carrie Shrug, and I don't want to do it. Is that her name?
Carrie Strug?
Oh, Strug, not Shrug. I was trying to, I guess I should say Simone Biles. I was saying like in...
The gymnast.
I'm elderly, so I was saying like an old
What reference? Yeah, you're like
gymnast.
When Mary Lou Retton got up there on that bum ankle and got a 10.
Wait, was she tennis? Swimming.
Mary Lou Retton? Wasn't she the one who at the Olympics?
Oh, with the broken leg?
In Moscow?
The bombs rained
or was it L.A.? I don't. There was an Olympics.
Was it Moscow or Los
Angeles? No, but she did that routine.
She's
and she got
gymnast.
a 10, and she's like, I got a bum wheel, and she went. And when you look at that routine,
that was Carrie
Strug. It might be. I don't know.
There was one where you look at the end and her foot's like falling
her foot fell apart. But when you look at what she did, and I understand this is just how athletes work. It's like when you watch old black and white videos of like the NBA in the early days, and you're just like, what, really? Like Wilt scored 100. Wow. Like I feel like I could have a double-double on this court.
The stilt.
But like, yeah, there was. You look at the routine she did though. What scored the perfect 10? And I'm just like, that would be laughed.
She did like
out
a cartwheel.
Of the country. Yeah, she did a cartwheel. Yeah, it was like a child, an 8-year-old child being like, "Mom, look," and did a cartwheel.
It reminds me of like looking at an old iPod and being like, "It stores 10 songs."
Yes,
that it's like tech and sports have like an equivalent like speed race to the top.
Yes,
but now people are what? They're just like doing HGH and like their hearts exploding on the field.
Well, yeah, there's been, I mean, through anabolic steroids, there have been, which I never had a problem with in sport. Like, I understand people would say, I think the argument was always like, oh, these from the steroid era, specifically in baseball, more so because they don't.
I
care
remember
about
that the asterisk next to what's his face.
Well, Bonds got the worst of it because he's one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Regardless, if you took, you could shave his stats like in half almost and still be like he's.
Who am I talking about though?
You're talking about Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. That home run race that saved baseball. After the strike, people weren't watching as much, and then these home runs, we were all fired up. We loved it. We knew at the time. Like I was in middle school, and I was like, these, or maybe I was like a freshman, whatever, high school. I was like,
I was in diapers.
I was in diapers. I was basically watching this and being like, yes, they're clearly, these guys are juiced to the gill. Like we understand steroids was a part of, it was a part of it. So then when they go. And
it's your body. It's not like somebody's running for you.
And the old timers who won't vote them in. And I'm like, you voted in people who so they wouldn't allow black players in the league. And you have those guys in the Hall of Fame who played against just a bunch of old good old boys throwing the ball around.
Right. You're like, it's not about
these
fair.
assholes are in. So and now all of a sudden, just because these guys took some steroids,
people just love rules.
Pitching's so much better. I mean, there's a million reasons why.
Okay. Well.
Anyway,
I don't know anything about it, but I'm fine with steroids.
Right. That's all you need to know. And the steroids have now evolved, I would say, probably into some HGH. Like it used to be the cartoonish, like anabolic steroid needle in the ass
and
in the weight room.
It would shrink your dick and you'd get zits.
Yes, but you'd be like, your neck and your skull would grow.
But they were like violent, right? And
yes,
it was
and
like it was kind of less regulated. People were getting.
I think it was just a hardcore, like it was a chemical that worked in one way, but had so many side effects that they were like, let's evolve this. You can get the juiciness without the.
Well, now HGH, people like in PR in New York are just on HGH, and you just like look young and vivacious.
Remember, Stallone was like busted, Sly Stallone at the airport with like HGH, and everyone was like,
who cares?
Yeah, he's 70 and he's still like playing Rocky in a movie. He's going to be juiced.
Yeah.
Or
we benefit.
Growthed.
We want to watch the home runs.
Yes.
We want to watch Sly Stallone in Rocky 15.
Yes.
So why are they trying to take that
Don't take that from us. Just give that to us. If you're not going to give us health care, give us Rocky 15.
Thank you. Give weird drugs to a couple people. Don't give insulin to everyone else.
Give them to our gladiators and let us watch them implode while they.
Literally, you're right. It's Rome. It's Rome. It's Rome. It's Rome.
It's Rome.
It's always Rome. All roads lead to Rome.
It's always been Rome, hasn't it?
Oh, Roman holiday.
Holiday Rome.
Holiday Rome.
Jim Rome. Rome is burning. Jim Rome. There was I can't go.
Who's Jim Rome?
Well, I'll tell you just because this can be another one of your dismissals. What do you call them now? Your new
honorable
mentions. Early dismissals. Jim Rome just had this hilarious. He was a terrible, like loudmouth early sports guy, and he had a show. Rome is burning, and he had Jim Everett, who was a pitcher, on, and he kept calling him Chrissy Everett. Like doing like a really cool, like I'm gonna call you a girl, like insult. And Jim, this was live in the studio while they were recording this, and he was like, "If you call me, like he's like, I know what you're doing." Like Jimmy, he was pissed off for some reason. They had a beef.
Can I say something quickly? If I were trying to call someone a girl name, I wouldn't pick Chrissy because Chrissy still feels like it could be a guy's name.
Right, but Chris Everett is a famous athlete, and his name is Jim Everett. So he was doing a one-for-one. He was doing an Everett swap.
Okay, because I would call you like Deborah. Like you can't do something that's still like Christopher.
Hey, Debbie.
You know?
No, I know. But because of the Everett thing, he was like nagging him. And because we all know Chrissy Everett
Debbie does Everett.
Debbie does Everett. Anyway, he did it until this guy lunged at him across the table and there was a physical altercation.
On a live sports
Yes, because he was
broadcast?
like, if you call me Chris Everett again. And he's like, all right, Chris. And he like came across the table. It was very funny.
That.
Anyway, Jim Rome stinks, but that's my Rome.
I don't know who or what, but
I hear
love
you.
it.
That's a dismissal.
Another case of honorable mention. Gabble, quack, quack.
Crack.
All right. I have a bushy pushy that I think will blow your frickin' socks off.
You must blow them off, please.
Are you ready?
Yeah, these are Bombas socks, so one pair for me and one to be blown off. All right, go ahead.
All right. Bushy pushy.
Oh, sorry. I was still reveling in my Bombas. All right,
that was funny.
Bushy podcast. Oh, can't wait for June.
All right. So I had one, but it got bumped. You had one last week that you've been saving, but that's getting bumped. Because in my research, I found something that I think must be shared.
What is it, please?
This is a question that just popped up when I was looking. I put in, how many siblings does H.W. Bush have?
Okay.
And you know how they'll just give you questions other people asked?
Yes.
It said, which president's wife ran over someone? And I was like, I'm listening.
See?
Siblings can wait. On the night of November 6th, 1963, 2 days after her 17th birthday, Laura Bush ran a stop sign and struck another car, killing its driver. Did you know?
I did. Now, I want to give you all the flowers for this because you know I've done my fair share of bushing around. I've been in the bushes for years.
No, you're our historian. Absolutely.
I did not know. And this seems like a big fucking deal.
Feels like they covered it up, maybe.
Feels like they didn't want me to find out. And I am one who likes to find out things.
Well, they didn't know about this pod.
They didn't know.
They had another thing coming.
One thing I will say is
in 2026, someone on a pod with 7 listeners will read about this.
One thing is also I'm becoming old puddinhead in my. So I don't know if this is one of those that I would have.
You knew and then
knew and forgot, but it also seems like probably not because how would I ever forget this about Lara Bush? Now this is
Laura
Bush. This is her, nay, whatever.
Yeah.
So because it happened, she was
Debbia's wife, Laura.
Yeah, and it
Teacher
happened,
Laura,
education guru.
I love teachers so much. I married one.
There it is.
That's Laura, mother of Barbara Jr. and Jenna. Barbara and Jenna Bush, twins, famously named after their grandmothers.
First lady to us all.
Fraternal twins.
Fraternals. Yeah, so basically she ran over. Now, do you have any more information on this? No more.
No.
I thought you were going to give it to us.
No.
Can I look it up?
Yeah, I'm thinking, please.
I mean, those are the facts. I like that we have the basic facts.
I'm done.
But...
I'm guessing she was drunk and they just covered it up.
Right. Laura Bush car accident. She opens up about it. So this is from NPR in 2010.
Oh, wow.
Her and W look similar, don't they?
They do. I think they have
Some
the
with
same
the eyes.
surgeon. Yeah.
1963. Revealing heartbreaking details about a car accident she caused as a teenager that left another young person dead. Former First Lady Laura Bush writes in a new book.
Left someone dead is funny.
That's a funny way to.
That's
that's one of those.
Dead.
Yeah, one of those like police
it's like
bullets.
Israel.
Yeah.
Israeli missiles found a child and exploded them.
And that child happened to die somehow. Yeah, it's the old indirect propaganda move. Laura Bush writes in a new book that after the tragedy, quote, I lost my faith that November. Lost it for many, many years.
Wow.
Like what faith? Because you ran a stop sign. Like I lost my faith in
my ability
PennDOT,
to,
like in signage and in
to read
traffic signs.
Sign.
It was the first time that I had prayed to God for something, begged him for something, not the simple childhood wishing on a star, but humbly begging for another human life. And it was as if no one heard. So she ran a stop sign and then begged God to save.
Does she know what her husband and his family are responsible for, death-wise?
Sure, the death toll.
God's green earth.
Yeah, you just hitting someone in a car is like.
But what? Can we get more details?
It just says when the future First Lady was 17, she ran a stop sign and struck another vehicle. The driver of that car, a 17-year-old named Michael Douglas.
Wow.
Just incidentally.
So they did bring him back.
Was killed. Bush has said little about the tragedy until now, you think? Until after the second election.
Well, someone dug it up, too, and then you can come out and be like, it was hard for me.
She writes a book about
it. Made me believe in God again.
Yeah.
Beautiful story.
Times says that she writes of being racked by guilt for years after the crash, especially after not attending the funeral and for not reaching out to the parents of the dead teenager. I mean, here's the deal.
Why couldn't she do those other things?
What I will say is...
Here we go.
I'm just going to say that obviously 17, like, you know, I was drinking and driving heavily, I will say, like as everyone
driving
I knew was.
heavily.
I was driving heavily.
Heavily
I just
driving.
mean no one I grew up with gave a shit at all about drinking and driving.
Or human
like in my
life.
circle of and not to indict, you know, whoever else. I'm not going to name
allegedly
everyone I grew up with. But like basically we were loose with the drinking and driving. So all I'm saying is she might not even have been. I mean, I don't know. at 17, you've been only driving for a year. You blow stop signs sometimes. Like that's not the bad part of it.
Texas,
How fast was she
you've
driving?
Been driving since you're 10.
That she killed someone.
That's what I'm saying.
Also,
but
1963, you're driving around in tanks, though. No
and he
seat
wasn't
belts.
wearing a seatbelt, is the other thing. So there's a couple things there.
There's a few things that are interesting about that, least of which is Michael Douglas was killed and then reanimated.
Which is crazy.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
We needed him in Falling Down.
We did.
And Wall Street, of course.
What else is he in?
He was in that. You know what movie's funny? Remember Disclosure with Demi Moore?
Is that the one where he pays to... No, that's One Night with Your Wife.
One
Indecent Proposal.
One night. That's One Night with Your Wife. The Michael Douglas story.
Yeah.
No, that was Indecent Proposal. But then there's also, what do you call with Glenn Close?
They're like the Douglases are like the waspy Sheens.
Oh, they are the waspy.
You know what I mean?
Sheens.
Because his dad's Kirk Douglas, right?
Remember how many times they trotted Kirk Douglas out?
Oh, wow, yeah.
That was unfair.
He looked like the Crypt Keeper.
He looked like the fucking Crypt Keeper, yeah.
Rolled out.
There was no need to have him out there like that. Elder abuse.
No, and he was saying all sorts of terrible things because
Sure
he's
was.
from 12 generations ago, and you're like, get this guy out
He was like
of
progressive for his time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we didn't need him anymore.
No.
I wish he was in that car. No, because he would have. That was 1963 when he was like 80, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Douglases. Falling Down is a very funny movie, but no, Disclosure was the one with Demi Moore where she comes on as like new boss bitch, bad bitch in the boardroom or something. But she then sexually harasses. She tries to get him because they have some history.
He's always being because.
And this was like, women with...
No, what's the one with Glenn Close?
That was Fatal Attraction.
Okay, I'm just saying he's always this like victim of women.
He is, yeah. Well, he's handsome, but he's like
I don't
beta
know
handsome.
if he's handsome.
In the way that it's surprising you would say. Someone sitting across from you who says that Costner's handsome with a straight face.
No, I get what you mean.
You love
I
Ed
like
Harris,
people,
do you?
I like people who look like real people. I'm just saying he doesn't do it for me, but I like
Yeah.
I'm fine with his look.
I think you know what it really is for him. I bet it was like 90%. I mean, the Nepo stuff.
I think it's his dad.
It's a bit Nepo.
Let's crunch the numbers, Nepo.
It's his 200-year-old father. No, it was his hair.
Yeah, he had good
Like
hair.
I remember the
He had good
moms going wild over his like thick, like salt and pepper head of hair.
hair. They would
loved
say, yeah.
Demi Moore ran her fingers through it, and then it was, it was revealed that there was some recording or something. Anyway, who gives a shit about
What
that?
do you
movie?
mean?
No, in the plot of that movie, Disclosure, they like recorded. He like called his wife, so it was on the answering machine. It was all her because she tried to then turn around and sue him for sexual harassment.
You just used to be able to make any piece of shit.
All right, pitching
You've
that.
said
I think that's
this.
like a Michael Crichton book.
But I just mean
Yeah.
that. You're like, the twist is the answering machine.
I know it was so clever. They thought they were so clever because they were on a lot of cocaine, the best cocaine in the history of cocaine.
Oh, God.
The purest.
Take me back.
To the even early 90s.
Yeah, literally.
I don't even need to go back to the 80s. Me and our dear friend Lucas talk about this often, where it was like we would have ruled Hollywood. We would have been dead by 50, but we also would have been like...
I'll take it.
Yes, like
Rim
kind
hat,
of. We have
fast,
6 more years.
pirouette, yeah.
Only 44 now. I'd take another 6, and also you're pitching. You're just doing so many drugs, and you just have to go to like one party.
If I got paid for ideas, I would be seen as a genius instead of mentally ill.
Yeah, yes.
I was just born in the wrong time.
And look at like a lot of those mansions that were purchased are from guys who wrote, like you look at their IMDb and you're like, this guy was a Hollywood screenwriter who wrote these 5 movies that are all garbage.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he made enough money.
And he
back
threw like
then
2 people off a balcony but was never charged.
That's
like
right.
that's like the
Yes.
thing. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could take me away.
Take me. Yeah, it would be a fun time to pitch high, because it was all the high concept shit
yes.
too, where you're just like, wait, hear me out. A lot of CIA propaganda. Like you could easily have
it's
been
a
like,
baby, but it's an old man too.
that's right. Like what was that? What was that movie? There's the great one that was Red. I don't think it was a John Milius. I'll have to look this up before I embarrass myself because my brain is dead. But the movie where the communists literally invade on U.S. soil and it's the high school kids. You know this movie, Red? It's not Red Dawn. It's called...
not Red Hunt for Red October. Is it? Yes, it's the...
You know what I'm talking about?
Like the Soviets
literally touched down with like tanks.
It's a prep school?
Yes.
I don't think it's called Red something. It's Dead Poets Society. No, it's a school movie though. It's Reds Like Us.
Reds Like Us. Red Dawn. No, it is Red Dawn.
Oh,
yes.
Red Dawn. No, I said.
Yes. It's young Swayze. You did say.
Swayze.
But anyway, that movie.
We love Swayze.
Like pitching that.
I know.
And of course, everyone's
but
like.
But it's everything everyone likes.
Well, yeah.
It's like the precocious
Red Scare
80s
stuff.
kids and like the band, like the Goonies meets like, the Cold War. And everyone's like,
we're here for it.
Yes. Wait.
Pretty spectacular.
That reminds me. This was in Errata. Remember when I was like, what was the axis of evil?
Right.
So the Axis powers, obviously.
You're talking about the OG Axis.
Well, that was Nazi Germany, fascist
And
Italy,
Japan.
and the Empire of Japan.
Correct. Italy, Japan, Germany.
Phrase axis of evil was coined post 9/11 by W.
Right.
That was Iran, Iraq, and North Korea.
Which is a very funny trio.
It is, but for some reason I thought there was someone from down south there. I didn't realize it was so.
Man, Saddam really got a raw deal.
But lately, an updated grouping consisting of China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, also known as CRINK, which I love, CRINK, has been referred to as the new axis of evil by like U.S. military intelligence.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yes.
I think that's
and
CRINK,
Little Rocket Man will always be like he's always looped in to these axes just because he refuses to play ball.
Yeah. And he's a fun girl dad. Have you seen the pics of him going in a tank with his daughter?
Yes.
She's like, I want to go in a tank right now, Daddy. And he's like, Faruka, please, darling, we've got to get the tank out.
Yeah. It is funny to look at, to not really know like what we know of North Korea too. You know, it's like what
also,
are we...
I'm not saying I like bad stuff. You find out, people are killing their own people or starving their own people or doing whatever. But have we looked in the mirror?
Yeah, everyone is doing that.
But I'm saying even libs who think they're like progressive, and they read the New York Times, like, well, you know, in China, they're not letting them read the news. I'm like, they just blacked out the satellites of Lebanon.
Right.
Like we're literally like can't see certain things that are happening like in real time, like war crimes, you know, perpetrated by our own military.
Yes.
Like, do you think we have access? Our internet is so slow and shitty because they've let all the like bots just overrun everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what freedom people. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not saying anything new.
No.
But I'm like, people are like,
yeah.
China does this or North Korea does this. I'm like, dude, we're just like black bagging people.
We are. And I also think that, like we talked about before, when the facts are the facts. If you aren't aware of these, if I have to be the crazy person every time who's like, here's
the guy at the party.
Again, before tying any strings, just putting the dots on to be like, this is true, that's true, and this is true. If you don't know that, if you're looking at me like I'm crazy, and in reality, those are facts, again, before we weave a tale around the facts, just that these are the facts. If you don't know that, then for you to sit there and be like, and they're not letting their people read the news. I'm like, you don't fucking read the news.
Literally.
And granted, the news doesn't come. That was like a splash one time from some declassified documents or something. I'm not saying our media does a good job.
I'll talk to like a boomer and I'll say, yeah, Israel's doing a 9/11 every 5 minutes in Lebanon. And they look at me and they cock their head and they go, where do you get your news? Yes. And I'm like, where do you get your frickin' news?
Yes. No, that's right. It is. It's true.
And then I'm like, can I borrow $100? Anyway.
To this boomer at a bar.
Yeah, just any old casual boomer.
No, I agree with you, though. And I think that this has really, in a lot of ways, the ongoing genocide has really generationally done a number, literally trying to buy out TikTok because people were like, where are they getting their news? And you're like, well, they're getting their news from TikTok. You're like, well, because the New York Times is beyond compromise, especially when it comes to this issue. So their early reports of like what took place on October 7th, what took place leading up to October 7th, all that is you're like, no, so people are getting their news literally, which at this point is just live streaming. So that's the most real video where you're like, at least you're getting the feed to be like, this is bad. Forget all the geopolitical musings.
Forget the little head that pops up in the corner and is like, let's unpack
Let me dissect this.
Yeah,
Let me contextualize these children exploding. You need context here.
Yeah.
Yeah, before it gets watered.
Well, I remember I had, I won't say names, but I had a falling out with a friend who I went to high school with. In the 2020 election, he was working on the Bloomberg campaign, and I know, but I'm going to say don't hate the player, hate the game. Like people need to get paid out here.
And if you're out there
hustling for Michael Bloomberg,
bless that hustle.
Anyway, and I remember, we kind of got into the DMs where I was just like, well, this is not a viable candidate.
2020 was the year of the getting in the DMs.
Yeah, and I remember. He was like, what are you talking about? Like, he's a great guy. And I sent him a Twitter link. And what it was an independent journalist, but somebody who had probably written for reputable by his standard sources, but was an independent journalist as well, a journalist for hire, who had compiled in a tweet thread multiple sources. So one would be from the New York Times, a link.
Sure, just
one
receipts.
Would be
how people
from Time
compile
magazines.
Receipts.
They compiled a list of like Bloomberg's whatever, like money that had gone somewhere or something that happened. I don't remember now exactly, but I shared this tweet and he goes, I'm sorry, I don't get my news from Twitter. Which, first of all, 2020 was literally, where'd you get your news? It was Twitter. That was the public square.
Agreed.
Still at the time. And I just remember being like, it was so dismissive and snotty from somebody who's literally only read the New York Times and probably just the op-ed pages telling us like why like trans
justifying
people
any
are
war.
bad. Like the worst shit you've ever read. The most hawkish like heinosities. And I just remember being like, whoa. Like, we don't agree on the dots.
The dots, yeah.
The dots are not agreed upon. And this is my generation.
Yeah,
This is like not even...
I know. I feel ageist by being like, that sounds like a boomery thing to say, because that's not fair. Because also there's plenty of boomers, obviously, who are...
wonderful.
Eyes wide open.
We call them the wonderful boomers.
We call them the wonderful. And we can hold them all in an 8x8 cell. And
all 7 of them.
Yes. They are the zoo animals at this point. No, but I do think... That's funny because, that level of, which if we're also not hating the player, then it's like, he's working
I mean, I hate the player a little
campaign.
bit.
Imagine what he's hearing on a daily basis of don't look at Twitter. Let's not trust Twitter. We're spending $1 million a day. That campaign was. Remember that?
No,
like
yes,
Bloomberg
but
pissed away $1 million a day.
I think that's a kind interpretation to be like, oh no, someone was steeped in the, the poison of like their surroundings. I actually think it speaks more to the mechanics of how you move through the world, because to not think something is reputable anymore because it's like app based or like it's just like what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Some of my favorite journalists, like they've written for the Times, they've written for the Atlantic, they've written for New Republic, and they've done weird shit on Twitter. Like,
well, now they have a Substack that they do their own independent
journalism. And you follow the
journalism.
journalist. You don't follow the legacy media company.
Which you would, right. And that's what's funny about our age, because you would think most people now do understand that. And I would say that, I think the level of effort.
It made me feel crazy.
The level of effort, for me, I'm either like, check out. To do the smug, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't get my news.
I'm sorry.
If you're
what
one of these
this?
people who says, I don't read the news, like, and I have people as well. People who are just flat out are just going, I'm just living my life. I can't change anything. There's a lot of horrors out there. So I don't literally just do not read the news. Like, you would think in the bubble of now, people have been kind of activated since even 2016, who probably dipped in more with, post-Trump stuff. But even like people who would still are just like, no, I don't read, then that's one thing, that's fine. But for someone who claims like, I read the news, and you're like, you have 1 or 2 sources, you use zero critical thought, and you just read an article and take that as face value, then I'm like, if that's a level of effort, then let's not be smug about it.
Well, that's the problem.
Because to go to Twitter, it's like, of course, I don't read a single tweet from a random person and take that as fact. It's the kind of thing you were saying.
No, that's
it's
honorable mention.
That's an honorable mention. That's me. A tweet from me from 10 years ago.
I'm sorry. I'm like, I had 2 Diet Cokes and a coffee. I feel so crazy right now. I'm like too high to die. I'm Mark McGuire.
You know what that reminds me?
Wait, can I I say one thing really quick? I think the issue, the true evil, lies in somebody who thinks they're well informed and isn't. It isn't the person who like knows that they're not.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly.
All I know is that I don't know anything.
Important.
Wow.
Important.
Somebody said that. Was
Yeah.
it Aristotle? Was it Socrates?
Was it Stoddle?
Somebody said.
John Stossel. John Stossel is the Aristotle of our.
Who's John Stossel?
He's a libertarian clown.
Oh.
Who has a lot of. He was with who was he with 2020 for a long time. You remember that great news outlet? You just had a shiver run down your spine at Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters.
I'm like really have had too much caffeine.
2 Diet Cokes and a coffee. It reminds me of mini skirt and a bob, itty bitty titties and a bob, or what is the?
I don't know.
You
but
remember
I know.
those lovely Gen Z
The video you
yes.
could make in the office.
So good. Joy, just a joyful time.
Just so fun. What were you going to say when I said no? I have to finish saying what I'm saying, but you have to say
Gen Z boss and a mini. Yeah. What was it? What the hell?
You were like, that reminds me. I have to say.
No, it was that. It was that.
Oh.
It was that delightful TikTok.
Great.
Anyhow, yeah. No, I think that there's a group of people, millennials, because I also do think, again, just trying to get into the generations, but Gen Z is at a level where they're just too aware, no matter where their politics lie, which is definitely not in the old boxes that boomers are still struggling to be like, this is a thing. They obviously don't care about that. But yeah, the millennials have split into the clawing to old legacy media as this idea of like, I'm sorry, it might not be perfect, but like the New York Times is still the paper of record, and not going back to that record and then looking at how often, because it's a better, if you compared it to the New York Post or any of Murdoch's, like it's what people love about like MSNBC versus Fox News. Like there's still some millennials who watch MSNBC who are still like, Maddow is a journalist of some
I don't
sort.
believe that.
No
one thinks Maddow's a journalist.
Brother,
here's the deal. Nobody watches any of
names.
that shit.
No, I know. Millennials do. Some millennials are
I'm
cleaning.
just saying
Old-ass millennials.
numbers wise, they're not doing it.
True.
There's nothing.
No.
Nobody's there.
No.
It's a tumbleweed blowing by.
There is, yeah.
Maddow's sobbing.
It's shocking that they're
holding
still
the tax
holding
returns.
those tax returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interviewing Klobuchar about what went wrong. Like, what are we doing? It's such hell.
Still doing a postmortem on 20 years ago.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I do think I think there's a level of that, but I do think it's very funny. In the DMs was a big thing in so many wild DMs in 2020.
Yeah.
People came out and dipped in because a lot of people were sharing some hotter takes where it was like in
the black square
14, like we were all still kind of on social media.
Did you share the black square?
But what do you think?
I think you did not.
My entire grid is black squares.
Here's life right now in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
People meaning well share a black square. Blackout. Black Lives Matter. George Floyd. 2020.
I can't wait to see the AI chapter of that.
People get
just gave a nice little heading there.
People get, then they're like, you shouldn't share the black square because you're taking away from the real people who are on the ground, the protesters, and you're doing hashtag Black Lives Matter, but they're using that hashtag to find the protest, and they're just finding your stupid square, and this is performative bullshit, wasting time typing this back and forth to each other.
Yep.
Meanwhile, people
clogging
are
up the
dying in the
hashtag,
streets.
as they say.
But I just mean that feels like a symbol of the time.
It does. Well, it also, you know what was
and then they tried to do the blue square after October 7th.
That's
do you remember
right.
That? Was that a thing?
Blue square. Or was it a...
Am I remembering that right?
I hope so.
I feel like there was a blue square.
There was a blue square,
We may
yeah.
have to cut this.
These are... No. We'll use it. We'll errata it. I think what's funny, too, is it was just riddled with ops. Was that thing, too, where it's like, yeah, what exactly is sucking up the oxygen in the room here?
Okay, the blue square on Instagram is a symbol of solidarity designed to combat anti-Semitism and hate.
Yeah, isn't it Robert Kraft's whole thing?
Stand up to Jewish hate. I mean,
You want to take a strong stance against anti-Semitism?
I do want to take a strong... I
Well,
do.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no shit.
I just...
Hate of any kind has no place here.
Thank you.
In this basement.
Stop hate.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Stop hate.
Stop. And that's the conversation that needs to be had. Before we can stop genocide, we need to stop hate, is the thing. Anyhow, there's a lot of people who are still, there's people I think are teetering, like Mayim Bialik and company. There's a section that I think could teeter into understanding where we're all at here in this moment.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, I mean that they were like, they're still doing the the stop Jewish hate. I think hers is like stop Jew hate is literally the hashtag. They've just restarted. So it was the blue square, but now there's a whole new campaign going, which, again, it's like you can never stop individual hate on people. It's just not possible. Rather than a systemic
I think there's a bad
of,
faith argument there, which it sounds bad to be anti-hate or whatever, but I mean, it has to be action. It has to be
yes.
It has to be tangible.
That's
right. Stop bombing and killing might be one. Stop supporting the military-industrial complex. Stop Citizens United. How did we get here? What is happening? But just saying stop hate.
Well, which is why it's
really
the perfect
empty
slogan
and hard to talk about.
Yes, for the NFL. We can go back to the 2020 after George Floyd. People kneeling they're like, all right, enough with the kneeling during the anthem. What do we need to do here, players? Oh, you can put on your helmet, end racism. Are we good then? If you can put that
end racism.
That's literally
so
like
empty.
something. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So but they were like, if that slogan is settled upon by the commissioner of the NFL and all the owners, then you're like, yeah, what are we doing here? I mean,
I would say that's actually bad because what you're doing is pacifying a movement that actually has some teeth.
That's right.
To make
with specific demands
fundamental
for
change.
Systemic change.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. You really need that. What are the barriers to,
And not to say that there's no way, obviously,
equity.
Yes, through talk to slowly through the generations. I think that has been happening to some degree of less. I would say the I'm still willing to say that the standard, especially because of people I know, the standard of racism at a generational level is much lower than what it. So if you're talking about end racism, I'm like, again, on an you'll never end some ignorant assholes being out there in the world as individuals.
Well, if racism exists because
systemic
of capitalism,
systemic oppression is where it needs
how
to be
it's
attacked.
currently maneuvering.
Right.
Is racial capitalism because somebody has to be exploited for some people to be on top, whatever, at its simplest understanding. Then just stopping it puts this onus on the individual is a weird, that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't. I mean, I don't know if our thing should be stop hate. Because that feels bad. But I mean stop hate, meaning stop empty garbage.
End slogan and end empty platitudes.
Yeah.
Now, get a pin going.
Get a pin. Stop hate.
Stop hate.
Don't
was that a
stop
misprint? No.
Stop hate.
Don't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop hate.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. We're getting there. We'll kick it around.
I think there was a billboard in New York. I might be misremembering, but somebody put cancel hate or something, and then people painted over it cancel rent.
Yes,
and that feels like it perfectly encompasses what I'm dancing
does.
around unable to say. But you're that's something that will actually help people not get behind the 8 ball in this fucking exploitative dog and pony horror show that we're all being dragged through right now.
That's right.
And
it's the
tangible.
The rubber hitting the road. It's why there was a large group of people, and we just saw this in real time in 2020, who were like, no, I want to share the black square. And I will shout from the rooftops, Black Lives Matter. But then when you talk about the actual policy of, which is, of course, peeling back the racial capitalism, like you talked about, the moment that you then see the glancing over of the eyes or a very defensive kind of no, I didn't mean, I put the sign in the yard. I did the black square on Instagram. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're talking about actually a redistribution of wealth and
that's
no, Lord, no.
Well, and nobody wants to pull that thread because then the whole thing comes down. And
although what's funny is they co-opted it at a level that I do feel like the top tier was they gave lip service to it. You know what I mean? Because they did acknowledge the younger generation is we did the whole empty platitudes movement here. And now it's time to really be let's fucking cut the bullshit and the rubber hitting the road here. And there's just too many elements of capitalism that will not allow for, actual change to take place.
Right.
And so then, they gave enough lip service to it. But here we are.
No war but class war.
Here we are. Oh, I have a hole in my bombus. What was the one other thing we were
I know. I was trying to listen to you, but I was thinking of so many things.
There's a lot of things.
There's so much things.
2 Diet Cokes and a coffee.
2 Diet Cokes and a coffee. Aspartame running through my veins.
There's a Time magazine article written exactly 1 year ago today. Why 1984's Red Dawn still matters. That was what came up when I Googled Red Dawn.
Oh, God. That's dark if you think about it.
It sure is. It sure is, James.
Oh, brother.
Well, that's we hit our bushy push.
I think we did everything. We don't have time for mid-blow.
No mid-blow this.
Do we have any other segments? I don't think so.
There was one that started to materialize in a dream I had, but we'll have to revisit it another time.
That's nice.
That's nice.
I don't mind stealing bread. Yeah.
Singing.
Yes.
What you will get, I believe now, is because I remember it used to be any sort of music in a pod, you might get your pod taken down. I think that there's so much, I think pods have taken over to a level. There's so much volume that they're less worried about that and it's more monetizing. So like YouTube. People who are
Have they seen our tip jar?
We have monetized. We're going to pay.
Monetize the demons.
They're going to want. That'll come up in court.
They'll make it 62 cents. Going to need that back.
Yeah.
Chris Cornell's wife is grieving.
She is grieving. She's blaming the Ativan and she's grieving. Without context, that's fun.
No, I think we understand.
We get it. Anyway. Yeah, if you sing or hum a tune, this is something in the most. Now, I don't. The Rogan's program. Difficult, difficult to digest, but that's what great clips are for. But Theo Vaughn, the recent episode, a very recent episode of this show, there's just one part of it that made me think of this, which is he's saying you can't hum. He's like, if we even hum a song, we'll get demonetized.
Theo Vaughn said that?
Rogan was saying that. He's like, if you hum anything. Now, again, I don't even know if that's how true that is, but obviously he's someone who has his people being like, we're monetizing the fuck out of our YouTube channel, obviously. So the ones that have gotten the strike against it and whatever is like, he's like, I guess they figured out.
What do you think Rogan's humming, if you had to say? What's Rogan's most hummed song?
His most hummed song.
What is he humming?
What is he humming?
What does he sing in the shower?
I want to say Enter Sandman, but...
Oh.
Yeah, he's a very basic
So we have
bitch.
Something he can never have.
A very
He's winning, but I can sing Metallica. Metallica, though, is historically litigious.
They are. Remember how salty Lars was
about
over Napster. What a
yeah.
loser. What a massive
fucking loser.
There are some things that are just
What is that?
Is that
Carrie?
Is it James Carey? I think it might be.
What is he talking about? What did I say Fire Marshal Bill about recently? I said somebody looked like Fire Marshal Bill.
It was probably me.
Remember.
Who else would it have been?
No.
It was probably me with my patchy hair.
No, it was somebody did something and I said something. I thought you were the one remembering what I said.
Somebody did something and you said something.
I also remembered what I wanted to say before when we were talking about the performative, the black square kind of thing.
Lars fucking sucks.
Lars sucks. And speaking of noise, music reminds me of noise. The thing that I was thinking of that I forgot. Do you remember? I'm going to take you back.
Please.
It's April 2020, maybe May.
Ooh.
You go to the kitchen. It's almost, you look at your watch. It's almost 7 o'clock. You go to the kitchen. You get a pan out and you get a metal spoon. And you go sit on the fire escape. Do you know what I'm talking about?
For the nurses. Yeah.
And
sure.
You bang the pan as the nurses go to the night shift to work in the COVID ward and watch all the grandparents die who Andrew Cuomo then stuffed into a Wawa truck,
into a
which
freezer.
we've covered on this program.
Well, I know I do recall.
And
this.
I feel
so we
two
were in
ways
Brooklyn.
about
We were
that.
in Brooklyn.
That's easy to
Our
make fun
neighborhood-
of.
Yeah.
When you say, "Oh, are you fighting for like nurses to have a livable wage? Are we fighting for Medicare for all to help this like dying
Doug, I'm sorry, I
anemic
can't hear you over my clanging.
medical system where like the hospitals
Yeah.
are anemic but the insurance companies are bloated? Like, are we working on that, or are we just banging a fucking pan?" But at the same time,
Yeah.
in a really scary, sad time, people who maybe don't have a lot of fight left, we're kind of like
to connect.
connecting where maybe they didn't talk to anyone
Those
all day.
first
They're
few months
home
when
and
it
they're
was just like,
bang,
yeah.
bang, bang.
If you weren't an essential worker,
Oh, it was for the essential workers. That's what it was.
well, but I mean, I think
was
a lot of people viewed it
nurse-centric,
more
right?
as like the nurses and doctors at the hospitals. They didn't think of like, well, I just ordered 19 packages from Amazon.
I ordered all the toilet paper in Brooklyn.
Right.
And then
the
yelled at the
person
man who delivered it because he wasn't wearing a mask. And then he died on my doorstep.
I
and
hit him
I
with some
kicked him
pots
into
and
the
pans.
bushes. I mean,
And then I clanged away out of the window. No,
what
but there
was going on at that time was unspeakable.
Dude, there's so much.
I shouldn't have
Imagine
opened the store.
all the
No, don't you dare.
I will. I will.
I still
that's
think
in the
about-
same. That comes to mind for me.
Thank you.
It was Gal Gadot.
It was Gal Gadot, but there are people who did that who I judge harshly.
I judge everyone in there harshly, and then I give like a couple of my faves just enough leeway to be like, oh, clearly your manager reached out
well,
to
but
you.
all of them were that.
Right.
But they were like, we're just like you. We're home during COVID. And they're in these like palatial, gorgeous
Imagine
mansions.
there's no-
Servants like hiding in the background while they sing Imagine into their phone.
They were like,
Will Ferrell did that.
that was the, oh, I'm just about to look up.
Look it up.
Imagine.
I think Jack Black, whatever.
Was Jack Black?
I think so.
Imagine.
Imagine all that. And they thought that would be inspirational. You know what gives me hope about society? People said no
There's a
to
fucking wicked. Yes, people did.
Nobody was inspired by that.
You often
No,
think-
they weren't.
No, they were not. That was one of those that crystallized the word cringe for me.
Crashed
Like, it
and
was
burned.
definitely one of those where I was like, oh, this is what the kids are talking about when they say cringe.
Hit me with that list.
Yeah. So actress. This is on March 18th. This is also early on. They quickly went to this Imagine. They literally, these celebs were literally like, for a week, I wasn't able to do my Pilates class.
And
now I'm
my
like-
pilot got canceled. I guess I'll just have to live off this 10 mil.
Yes. So they didn't make it long before they were so look at meing that they're like, I haven't been looked at in a week
I
and a
haven't
half.
been perceived in days.
And I need to be on the internet here. So March 18th, 2020, actress Gal Gadot posted a video on Instagram of herself and 24 celebrity friends singing a rendition of, I mean, the fact that you're even friends with Gal Gadot makes me, but I won't say that they were friends. Like, yeah, this is like, they all had the same manager, basically. So this was,
Exactly.
the video was
it's like
poorly
CAA,
received.
poorly received.
This is
yeah. That's a nice way to put it.
Oh, God. Gadot organized the video with help from Kristen Wiig.
Yikes.
She told InStyle, the pandemic was in Europe and Israel before it came here to the United States. In the same way, I was seeing where everything was headed. She told Wiig, listen, I want to do this thing. Like
That's
Gal
so
Gadot just
brutal.
calling Kristen Wiig. and
Listen, I want to do this thing. Put it on my fucking headstone.
yeah.
I
So here's the
love it.
participants. We are not allowing you to escape. We are reminding
Call them
everyone.
out.
Gal Gadot, Kristen Wiig, Jamie Dornan, Labyrinth, James Marsden, Sarah Silverman, Eddie Benjamin, Jimmy
Wait,
Fallon.
Marsden? Can we talk?
I know.
That makes me sad.
That makes me sad.
What about D-Train?
Jamie Dornan, I don't really know who he is.
Did you say the word labyrinth?
Labyrinth? The film Labyrinth.
Wow. The cod piece was
He's a
out.
British singer and songwriter. Yeah, Marsden, unfortunate. Sarah Silverman, unfortunate. Eddie Benjamin, Australian. So they're trying to go global here. Fallon, expected. He was still chained to his desk in the studio
Yeah,
in the
literally.
Tonight Show, so he was never home. Natalie Portman, Zoe Kravitz, Sia,
Got it.
Linda Carter, old Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because she's with Gal Gadot with The Wonder.
Amy, the Wonder Women came together.
Yeah, they did.
Amy Adams,
The Women of Wonder.
Leslie Odom Jr.,
Amy, come on.
Pedro Pascal. No, Pedro.
Oh, wow.
Before he was still.
That's how he got in.
That is how he got in.
Imagine
Chris O'Dowd,
Pedro.
Don O'Porter, so 2 O's, O'Dowd O'Porter, Will Ferrell, Mark Ruffalo. Sorry, Ruff. Rough.
That's rough stuff.
Nora Jones, Ashley Benson, Kaya Gerber, and then a bunch of...
Kaya Gerber, that's Cindy Crawford's daughter.
Kaya Gerber, Cindy's daughter, yes.
She's like, I've arrived. No, they didn't like it.
They did. Yeah, we're gonna pretend it never happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's something where
Maya
we all
Rudolph
see how it happened, but it's just a brutalia. Anyway, the banging of the pots and the banging of the pans.
Now, that
and all the rural hospitals closed.
Yes.
And everyone died, and COVID is over, and nobody talks about it. We don't talk about COVID.
No,
That's the segment. But we can't do it too often because people get sad.
They will. Yes, we have to do like once every maybe 10 eps. We'll just, touch base with what's going on.
You say, see ya.
See ya.
I say COVID.
COVID. COVID. See ya. Let's call Imagine off. I would love to know the list of people who just flat out said no. I think I heard someone. I remember someone saying I said no to this.
I think that too.
Like
it reminds me of the Captain Beefheart note to Bono.
What's that?
Do you know this? I'm all over the place.
Oh no.
Bono had written a letter to Captain Beefheart. Did I already say this on the pod?
Probably, but go ahead.
It's embarrassing. It was like we should collab. And somebody got a hold of the letter that was typed from Captain Beefheart back that said, "Dear Bongo, no." That's it. And
Beefheart's like, I'm doing my own thing.
I want to see the letter of who was like, "No thanks."
Yeah, no thank you. That's a hard no for me.
Yeah, I don't really want to show off my mansion like 5 days into like a
being like
death
just
fog.
Imagine there's also the irony of Gal Gadot with this. Imagine there's no war and et cetera, you know, just the irony of an IDF legend.
Yeah.
But I also think,
who then didn't she make a weird like documentary that she was like trying to make people do screenings around Hollywood? No one was coming.
Sure.
About October 7th.
It all happened. Yes.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot is on that. Wait, who said no?
Tell me who said no.
Anyway, I don't know. I can't find it. I want to say like Patton Oswalt or something, but like I remember somebody just being like, "Yeah," I was like, "That's." I can immediately see how that's just like, "What? Why are we doing this?"
Yeah, that's embarrassing. To do that.
The pots and pans also slowed. Do you remember those last couple where it was like, "Are there still 2-3 people on the block doing this?" Like, that was a.
Yeah.
But what I will say though is, this to not be too cynical, is I do love that there are times when human beings can acknowledge collectively
that it's time to bang
and thinking like Americans, especially like, depending on where they're at, it's like if you're home at that time and you're clanging, it's like, we're so disorganized. It's kind of laughable that all we can really do to get mobilized for something because we're not organized.
5 years later, and you're like, it's frowned upon to wear a mask.
That's right.
But these people were banging on the fire escape and wiping their food down with bleach.
You know what I've realized? Remember
we can't. We have already talked about that.
We have. But yeah, the dots. What's funny, the reason why I also think our We Don't Talk About COVID No segment is a problem goes right back to the dots, agreeing on the dots.
Oh, the dots.
Nothing in my lifetime. The Gal
Gadots aren't lining up.
Stringing the Gal Gadots together.
Yeah.
Nothing is more like, you realize you could talk to any two people. It doesn't matter what walk of life. It doesn't matter what their political leanings are. You talk to people about, when you do try to talk about that, you just see what people's baseline reality for what the facts of COVID from start to finish, all the different angles of COVID. It's difficult.
It
fractures. You really are like, oh, we do not have anywhere near a collective agreement on these like 9 facts.
The dots.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
So,
or do I? What do I think?
Can't even agree that we can't agree. Can we agree to disagree? No.
Beginning to think about agreeing. Not sure if I want to yet, though.
No.
Is there misagreeing or just disagreeing?
Misagreement and disagreement. Interesting.
Wow.
Well, we've done it, dear.
I'm going to leave you with this.
I'm not going to get back into the Rogan sphere.
Oh, sorry. What was he humming?
Just this episode with Theo. Theo Von, for all his shortcomings, and there are thousands, he has been blackpilled to a level where it's like
he's on the
he's
edge,
saying
right?
shit that is truthful to Rogan now, which Mr. Truth, Mr. Truth,
too
Justice
little,
in the
too
American
late.
way.
Some would say,
yeah, or has just been compromised heavily for the last several years by Peter Thiel, etc. But I do think what's funny is watching Theo Von and have Rogan just flat out be like, bro, you need to get off these antidepressants.
He said that?
He said that to Theo Von. He's like, move to Austin, because Theo Von's like in Nashville, I guess, wherever. He's like, you got to move to Austin. Hang out, man. Hang out at the.
No, he's like, get off him and hang yourself. He's
he's trying to be like, yo,
he's trying to shut him up.
You're saying too much about pound. And Rogan, I'm like, for all of his rinse and repeat of his THC-addled brain, we're like, bro, I know you've heard this before. Palantir. He's every time Palantir comes up, he's just all of a sudden like, wait, what's Palantir? Jamie, can you pull up what's Palantir again? What are they doing that in Israel? What are they doing with the defense?
They're funding you.
Right. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jamie's like, what do you want me to pull up? Do you need me to pull up Peter Thiel on FaceTime
Your
right
bank
now?
statement?
Yes.
Your Venmo?
Yeah. What's so sad about Rogan is I don't even know that he needs to be paid. You know what I mean? He's such a fucking moron.
Well, that's the
He's
thing
such a
is we're going to
puddinhead
give
that-
you insider tech information on the surveillance state, and people just want to feel like they know.
He thinks Elon's cool too. Like he actually thinks the whole
Can you imagine
Cybertrucks.
the only
and
thing
space
less
travel
cool
is
than
cool.
being Elon Musk is somebody thinking he's cool.
That's right.
So embarrassing.
That's very embarrassing. Yeah. You're a massive loser. To think like Peter Thiel is a thought leader and Elon Musk is a cool, wacky guy is like you're just a massive loser, which he obviously is. But yeah,
dare I say
to
dumb?
gaslight, dare you? I think that's what it just comes down to. I think the simplest explanation. People are often they're dumb. Or I think there is just a really you realize. It's like Bill Maher. I say about all the time too. It's like he got. Weirdly
he has
grandfathered
a wet brain,
in.
I think.
Yeah, he also has wet brain. And yes, just drinks and smokes a ton of weed on his podcast and then immediately goes to this wet lizard brain territory where you're like, oh, you're just going to rehash how are we now talking about trans people again? This conversation started with an actual critique on
stupid.
Yeah, so it's the same conversations he has with the guests over and over again. But also I'm at the end of the day, yeah, you're just dumb. Even if you were at one point sharp, it's you really are.
But why aren't they? I'm just why is Chris Cornell gone and Bill Maher's still here?
Why is Cornell gone and Maher's here?
It makes me lose my faith, Laura Bush style.
Makes you want to get in a car, Laura Bush style, and just start blowing through some stop signs.
No, I don't wish any harm, injury upon anyone.
Right.
But I do wonder.
This is a completely hypothetical, allegedly situation.
Allegedly situation.
If you were on a dark street and you were driving at night,
to me on the pod.
and all of a sudden the street light flickers a bit, and you see an inebriated
Bill Maher
driving
a lazy
boy, bumbling across the street. And you
driving
just hear,
a lazy
boy. You rev the engine of our 88 Camaro. No. You say, Bill, coming out of the cold. Let me get you a coffee, a shower, and let's get you back on the air, Bill.
Bill, let's talk, Bill.
Let's talk, Bill.
Yeah, no, I'd do a misery situation. I'd keep him in the basement. I'd hobble him where you break the feet, allegedly.
We'd hijack his RSS feed.
And I'd say, you have to do a show just for me.
Yes.
You have to smoke cigarettes in my basement.
Yes.
Tied to this.
And do your lounge act. Do your old 90s material, Bill.
Yeah. Religious, yeah.
That was his shining moment of politically incorrect as a show. Not him on it, but the fact that he had a show on ABC. That was
a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time. It was cool. A live ABC round table where he brought on a lot of differing views.
Yeah.
People
Ben Affleck has a great moment on that show.
That was on his HBO show.
Oh,
yes.
gotta go.
But yeah, Ben Affleck actually called, because Sam Harris is a raging Islamophobe, as is Bill Maher, and he took them to task over it. He did, yeah. That was the one moment where I was like, okay.
Ben Affleck is all of us.
That was when Ben was chubby Ben was chain smoking and going through divorces.
Dunkin'
and was
Donuts.
Enough already, Bill.
Yeah.
And Sam Harris. Yeah, you're just being Islamophobic. Yeah. That was fun.
I wonder if a Fleck was asked to do the Imagine video.
Imagine Ben Affleck. Yeah, he sent one in. He's like, why didn't they use mine? I sent it in.
Yeah.
They're like, you didn't use the right filters, Ben. We didn't like that. You were too close to the camera. It was too much of your face in the frame. Is why well, there's some cuts. Imagine how sad you'd be if you tried to get it. Well, then you'd be pleased, I guess, that you ended up on the cutting room floor of the Imagine video.
You'd be thanking the dear Lord.
You really would. The one time you were happy to not make the cut. Is there anything else you have?
No. Said it all. I feel like we said too much at the end here.
We said we're imagine. Just imagine.
But I don't want to sing Imagine, so I want to go back to Hunger Strike.
Go ahead. Go back.
All right, I'm going to
Let's
close this
bookend
out. Ready?
Yes, please.
But it's on the table, files cooking. And
I'm going hungry. I'm going hungry.
Former babies of slaves are working.
I'm going hungry.
Blood is on the table. Mouths are choking.
My stomach is grumbling.
But I'm going hungry.
I'm going hungry.
Yeah,
I'm going to have a snack before dinner. Love you, dear.
I love you. I think we got canceled this time around.
Take good care then.